Welcome to the Roll Up Network. I'm your host, Tommy Guns. And today we're going to be talking about the SBA rules and regulations. We're going to give a new breakdown, updates, all that good stuff. It's going to be a series. We're going to take it piece by piece so it's all digestible. So if you have any questions, please leave comments. We'll get to them. We'll answer them the best way we can. Talking about stride battles, SBA. All right, here we go. And we're going to start off now with just the structure of the battles. All right. So the stride. Going to just start with the stride. The stride is on the 1 and the 3 count of the beat. Anybody who's seen strides, you know what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's striding. Okay. And as we stride, my front leg is on 4 wheels and my back leg is on 2 wheels. Okay. 4 wheels in the front, 2 wheels in the back. 4 wheels in the front, 2 wheels in the back. Leading front, 4 wheels, back leg, 2 wheels. Okay. Now, that's pretty much traditional striding on 6 wheels. All right. So the battle aspect of it is 2 one-on-one striders competing in the ring for 3 rounds to see who has the best performance. Okay, that is the battle. Okay, and by best performance, we basically give a deduction scorecard to the judges. This is a deduction-based sport. The best you can do is have a 0, which is like a perfect round. So other than that, you get deductions. And the deductions come in the form of KDs, which are knockdowns, fouls, breaks, doubles, sprawls, and travels. We're going to break all of these down in their individual videos. Okay. I hope you're following so far. Okay. Now, based on the judge's observation, whoever has the least amount of deductions is going to be the winner of each round. So given these same deductions, whoever has the least, sprawls, fouls, doubles, breaks, you get the picture. Okay. And it's a 3 rounds, so it's the best 2 out of 3. So you can either have a 2-1 or a 3-0. Either win 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Simple. All right. That is the structure. Now, breaking down the rounds. Now, we're going to break down the rounds and the positions. We're going to start off with the positions of the 2 striders. Okay, the leading position is the point man. He's the leader, point man. The following position is the feature. Now, to determine who goes first, initiating the battle, there's a coin toss. Whoever wins the coin toss decides whether they want to be the point man or the feature to start the round. Once the point man is decided and ready, he will begin a basic stride, nothing fancy, and until the horn sounds. When the feature is ready, he will follow the point man. Once they're skating in unison and the feature is within the break point, which is 3 feet, we're going to break that down. The horn will sound and the top of the round begins. So the round begins, 45 seconds. The horn will sound after the round begins. That'll be the top half of the round. The striders will switch positions. Now, during the switch period, they have 15 seconds to get ready again. So in between that 15 seconds, they're going to be switching positions. Once the point man and the feature are ready, the horn will sound again, and the bottom half of the round will begin. 45 seconds again, the horn will sound, and that is the first round. That is the second round. That is the third round. That is how each round is going to be. And based on, like I said, the judge's determination, we see who wins. Best 2 out of 3. That is the structure. Go ahead and watch some battles, get a better understanding of just how the structure works before you get into all of the details, which we're going to get into. So if you have any questions about just this part of it, feel free, leave a comment. Got you. Roll up. All right. In this one, we're going to talk about sprawling. What is sprawling? Sprawling is a deduction. It is worth 1 point. Okay. Okay, and we're going to break it down just like this as far as the deduction is concerned. Okay, striding is landing on the 1 and the 3 count on 6 wheels. So sprawling is landing on the 1 and the 3 count on 8 wheels. So you want to be on 6 wheels, not 8 wheels. If you're on 8 wheels, it's going to be considered a sprawl. It's a flat-footed stride. Now there are different types of sprawls. You know, there's your straight up and down sprawl, basically standing up straight, and then there's like a leading sprawl, which is really like stride position, but you're on 8 wheels. You're flat-footed. So if the judges see this, they will determine this as a sprawl, and you'll be dinged for it. It'll cost you a point. Okay. Now, further, you can't sprawl on the 1 and the 3 count, but you can sprawl between the 1 and the 3 count. So what does that mean? Let me just demonstrate just quickly. 1 and a 3 count striding. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll see somebody, they'll get fancy with their stride, and in between each stride, they'll stand up straight, they'll sprawl. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's perfectly fine. You cannot sprawl on the stride, but you can sprawl in between the stride. I hope that makes sense. All right, all right. Now we're getting into it's not a big one, but it can be kind of controversial. The double. What is a double? Okay. We're going to start with the traditional stride to break down what a double is. All right. So traditional stride, you're going to go left, right, or right, left on the 1 and the 3 count. It's like uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a double is when you go left, left, or right, right on both the 1 and the 3 count. So a double is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you switch the count when you do that. If you're the point man, and as the point man, you're basically making the chain reaction for everybody behind you, just traditionally. So that's what a double is. When you on the 1 and the 3 count, you go left, left, or you go both right, right. Now, it doesn't matter how you do it. If you turn around and hit the same leg twice and come out on the wrong leg and switch the count, that's a double. It's going to be a double every time you do it. I don't care what variation of the stride you do, and we'll talk about different variations of the stride, but it's still going to be a double if you switch the leading foot, if you stay on the leading foot. Now, as the point man, you control whether it's left, right, or right, left, when the round starts. So if the point man doubles and switches the count, the judges is going to be a deduction. Simple. Now, as far as the feature is concerned, if the point man doubles, the feature will have 2 strides to get on the new count with no deductions. Now, what that means is basically he's not going to get dinged for the fact that the point man doubled and switched the count. He just has to get on the new count within 2 strides. It's that simple. So it's that cut and dry. That's what doubling is. There are complexities to a lot of these different things, and I'll break all of them down in later videos. So this is doubling. Here we go. Here we go. The break. The break is a big one. The break is worth 3 points. It's a bad one. A break is when the feature is outside of 3 feet of the point man. So if you're following the point man and you're outside of 3 feet, it's going to be dinged as a break. Now that's from waist to waist. It's approximately like having a strider in between you two. So yeah. This is a feature only deduction because it's the feature's job because they control distance. So you're going to have to keep up with the point man. For every stride outside of the break point, you're going to get dinged for those 3 points. So if you're outside of it, that's 3 points, 6 points, 9 points until you get back within the break point. These are the breaks. Now, there's a variable to this too. So just try to understand what I'm about to say. The feature must stay within 3 feet, not necessarily behind the point man. That also means don't cut them off. So what that means is you can be like right here, you can be on this side, you can be on any side of the point man. And also, the point man can turn around and keep going the same direction. And, he's not technically behind the person. So that's kind of why the rule is as such. Now, what the point man is in control of is what I call like the plane. So the feature can't pass this line. So wherever he strides, the line changes. He changes direction. But at the same time, if he turns around and is still going the same direction, the plane is not changed. Only if the point man stops, and then he basically disrupts the whole plane. And this is going to bring us into foul territory, especially on the offensive side of things. So I'm going to get into that, but understand that the feature can't cross the plane, and that the point man is in control of the plane and where the feature can cross. If that makes any sense, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Roll out. Okay, the controversial fouls. Fouls can get finicky, and we are in developmental stages. I mean, so I hope you can understand this as clear as day. But there are different variations of fouls. So I'll go over the list and then I'll break down each one. So the biggest one is going to be levels of contact. Anything from brushing up against your opponent to kicking of the skates. I'll get into detail of the levels of contact. Time violation. Time violation is going to be you have 15 seconds to be ready. If you're not ready within the 15 seconds, then you're going to get dinged for a foul. And that is during the switching period, in between rounds, top and bottom. Now, boundary violations. By boundary violations, no stepping out of the ring. You're going to get dinged for every stride that you are outside of the ring. Okay. 1 stride, 2 strides, 2 fouls. Okay. Obstacle violation. That means not using any camera people as obstacles. Trying to cut off anything like that is going to be dinged for a foul. There's occasional interference. People come in the ring and don't know what's going on, trying to use them as well. It's going to get dinged as a foul. Now, the big one is these levels of contact. Now, let me just give you the basics first. Depending on the level of contact, whoever committed the contact will be deducted a point. Now, since features are in control of distance, whether they're too far or too close to the point man, as a result, most fouls are going to be committed on them because you're in control. If they hit a quick stop on you and you run into them, it's your fault that you didn't hit your brakes. You're in control of that. You have to be a step ahead. That is a part of the game. Same goes for taking off because it works both ways. On top of that, now, beyond that, like I said, levels of contact. So some touching is not going to get dinged for foul, but things that are aggressively, like a bump that knocks you off balance, stuff like that, that's obvious. Kicking of the skates, obvious fouls. Other details. Okay, now that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Now let's get into the offensive fouls from the point man's perspective. And like watch when I talked about the break and how the point man is in control of the plane. So if the point man is in control of direction, and then the point man turns around and stops, he has just disrupted all direction at all. So he can get dinged for any contact that happens within that stopping point. Um, Not only that, but if he makes, let's say he makes, like I said, the feature can be on either side of the point man as long as he's within 3 feet. And let's just say if the point man hits a sharp turn and goes into the feature, he's going to get dinged for the foul. So, being the leader, you shouldn't be running into the person behind you. It's really that simple. That is the general breakdown. Again, judges use their best discretion when we see any and everything that happens in the ring. So, just be aware of that as well. But this is how fouls work. All right, the biggest one, the KD, the knockdown. The knockdown is very simple. It is when your hand touches the ground, when your legs, when you can't skate. I don't even know what to say, but you fail to keep rolling, and you need your hands to keep you rolling. It's basically the equivalent to getting knocked out. It's the equivalent to being knocked out. It is worth 15 points. The reason I don't make it like something crazy is because if somebody gets KD like at the top of the round, then at the bottom of the round, they're not going to care. They're not going to be performing. So we want to keep it tight, but this is it's a big margin. And I mean, if you can break somebody pretty good, there might be room for catching up. You never know. But 9 times out of 10, you will have to KD the person back. That is what's going to have to happen. And that is the KD. No hand touching the ground for any reason. I don't care if you're doing a trick, because if you're doing a trick, you should be able to do it on skates alone. Simple as that. People get on their knees. People hit the splits. As long as your hand doesn't touch the ground, it won't be considered a KD. So there it is. We got the travel. Is this the last one I got? Travel is the last call. This is kind of an updated one, and we're going to be strict on this one this season. We're going to be more strict on this one because this is a controversial one, and we don't need no questions about what people saw or anything like that. So, the travel. When the stride count is too short, or when the stride count is too long, or when you get off beat. These are all travels. Another way of saying it is if you switch counts too early, or if you switch counts too late. That is a travel. If the judges can't determine what count you're on, it's going to count against you. So we've had some controversial stuff that's happened in past seasons, and this is one that had to get cleaned up. So it's hard to give you an example of this because it's like you have to be off beat, and it has to be like, okay, what just happened? And if I have to say what just happened, you like in the sense of not amazement, but is he on beat? I don't know if he's on beat right now, and I have to look back at it to see if you're even on beat. It just is going to count against you 9 times out of 10. So let me try my best to give you an example of like, so it's on the 1 and the 3 count, but you either hold it too long or you cut it too short. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's like, okay, where were you? Where were you? So there's certain things you can do on the beat, on the count, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's easy to determine what's happening in that transition. If it looks like you're cutting a stride too short or cutting it too long, it can get dinged. Now the judges are going to use their discretion when it comes to things like this. So this is one of those controversial things. But be aware. Make sure your moves are clean. Make sure whatever it is that you're attempting to do, because these travels only happen when you're trying to do too much. 9 times out of 10, you was trying to do too much when you were traveling, because we all know how to stride. So keep that in mind when it comes to this rule that we call traveling. This happens sometimes when they'll hit a turnaround, or like a dip is a good example. Like somebody will hit like a dip stride, but they'll hit it too long and they won't come back on the other foot. So you have to use your discretion when it comes to that.